Hi, I'm Karen Yarbrough. I'm the Democratic Committeeperson of Proviso Township. And I want to welcome all of you to The 80, the Cook County Democratic Party's podcast about our organization, its candidates, and its leaders. We're currently interviewing the party's endorsed candidates for the June 28, 2022 primary, so you can learn more about their backgrounds and unique stories. Today, I'm excited to welcome Howard Brookins Jr., who is the committeeman of the what ward?
21st Ward.
21st Ward. You're also the alderman of the 21st Ward. Is that correct?
That is correct. But Karen, I am no longer the committeeman.
Oh, what happened? Okay, you need to make, you're not. Okay, so nobody told me that.
So when I ran, once my name appeared on the ballot, I had to resign.
Oh, okay. Well, we missed, can I say we miss you?
You can.
Okay. All right. Howard, I've known you for a really long time, and you're actually a legacy. I know your dad really, really well. I want you to just give me your full name and also the position that you're running for.
Certainly. My name is Howard Brookins Jr. I'm currently the alderman of the 21st Ward. I'm running for Cook County Circuit Court Judge in the county. My punch number is 161.
Okay. Now, I understand that you're a graduate of Mendel Catholic High School.
I did.
And then you received a degree in mortuary science. From where? And what is that all about?
So in law school, they called me the ultimate ambulance chaser. But my dad told me he quit his job as a police officer, opened a funeral home in 1970, told us that we could do anything we wanted to do as long as we got a degree in mortuary science and funeral service, so that we could take over the business if we wanted to. And so my sister and I both went to SIU in Carbondale, and we received our associate degrees in applied science and mortuary science and funeral service. And then I went on to get a bachelor's and a law degree from Northern Illinois University in DeKalb.
So it sounds like your dad had a plan, and you and your sister were a part of executing that plan in terms of generational wealth and generational future in terms of your family. That's really good thinking on his part, but it's even better thinking on you and your sister's part to sign on to the plan and execute the plan.
No, I think that it makes sense. And so many businesses have skipped generations because the children had no interest in the business that daddy and mama was in. We think of, unfortunately, some of the best soul food restaurants in the city of Chicago. No more Edna's, no more Gladys's, no succession plan, nobody around to make the good biscuits, et cetera. But we figured that we would do it, and it would be there to use if we necessarily needed to, but at least the business could continue to be in the family.
Great planning, great thinking, and kudos to your dad for coming up with that plan. So now you've been the alderman of the 21st Ward since 2003, and how long have you practiced law?
I've practiced law for 33 years. So I graduated in 1988. And I got my first job as a public defender under Randolph Stone, who was the first African-American public defender in Cook County. And then shortly thereafter, Cecil Partee became the first African-American state's attorney in Cook County. And I left and went to work for Cecil Partee. I think the only person I did not work for that was the first was Jim Montgomery.
Okay, all right. So you've kind of managed these two careers, being an alderman and committeeman, and also being an attorney. How do you do that?
Well, the thing about being an alderman and being an attorney is you're always trying to help people, and that's what you do. And a lot of people, I may be the only attorney that they know. So they've come to me for advice, and I can lead them with both having the opportunity to know City Hall and know other elected officials to be able to help them navigate and help themselves when it comes to that. It also keeps my ear to the ground to see how the laws that we pass affect everyday people and what the unintended consequences of some of the things that we thought was very good legislation that made sense, but how in the courts that it was being applied practically. So I think that it's helped me be both a better legislator and a better attorney.
So, Howard, you're getting ready to shift gears and you're in the midst of a judicial run. When did you decide that you wanted to become a judge?
So I have always wanted to marry my love of the practice of law with my love of public service and to be able to be immersed in the law kind of full time. But more importantly, at the end of this term of alderman, it will be 20 years. And while I have never been an advocate of term limits, I do believe in knowing when to say when. And I believe that it is now time to let somebody with some different energy and some different ideas come in behind me to progress the 21st Ward while I would still be able to do what I love in helping people, but also do what I have a passion for, also the law and being immersed in the law and marrying those two things together.
So you're right in the midst of campaigning. What's the best and the worst part of campaigning?
The worst part of campaigning is you go to all these cocktail parties and you really people sometimes get insulted if you don't eat their food. So the worst part is gaining the weight while you're going to all of these events and eating and trying to really watch what it is that you do. The good thing is being out amongst the people, talking to them, hearing what their everyday experiences are. And while I'm running for a judge, it is so different than running for alderman. It is not as though I can tell people, oh, this is what I will do for you. But what I can share with them is the importance of the office of being a judge and how it affects their everyday lives and why it is important that they take the time to wade through that ballot and go all the way down to the end and pick judges that are qualified and pick people who are level-headed.
And so while they're going down that ballot and they're looking for a number, what's that number they should look for?
161.
Okay. Howard, I wanted to ask you about parades, because politicians are in parades all the time. What's your favorite parade?
My favorite parade is something that we created called Bike the Hood. And so what we have done in the 21st Ward is to create an event where people on bikes and scooters, and we tour the 21st Ward through some of the new development and some of the renovations in the 21st Ward, but things that are most notable. So we go by the Wild Blossom Meadery, which is the first meadery in the city of Chicago. Mead is wine made by honey. We go by our shopping malls. We go by the Digester, which is the first of its kind in the city too. Digester is where it converts organic waste into compost and electricity and methane gas. The electricity and the methane gas being put back on the grid, and the compost used to help urban farmers. Then we go by the famous Woodson Library that had been recently been renovated, and just showing the heritage and the pride of the South Side and the Auburn, Gresham, and Washington Heights areas.
So what do you do to relax?
I have some bad habits, and one is playing golf, which takes me in the summer. Generally, if I can get out there and play golf, that's a great thing. But my wife is like, "Why are you going 4 or 5 hours?" But no, I like being outside. I like playing golf, and I do have a bad habit of smoking cigars. So every now and then, I indulge with some of my friends and just to relax and get away.
So tell me, Black and Gold I saw your background and it had a lot of black and gold in it. What's that all about?
So I am a member of what I would consider the best fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and that is the color of our fraternity. Colors are black and gold.
Okay, and how long have you been a member of that organization?
Ooh, Jesus, that'll tell my age, but
Okay, fine. What's
30,
your age?
39 years this year. Next year will be my 40th anniversary in the.
Wow. Sounds like you're committed.
I'm very committed. And
So,
and, and I'm following a good tradition of great people like Roland Burris and John Stroger. Many of people who will know were both alphas. And if my memory serves me, I think there was a congressman, Benny Stewart at least was an alpha, and I think maybe even Metcalf.
are there any other organizations that you are a part of outside the legal community?
I am. I'm a part of Prince Hall Masonry. I've been a past master in Prince Hall Masonry. I am with the Western Consensory number 28. I am a member of the Chicago Assembly. And I've been on various boards throughout, whether it's the Community Media Workshop. I've been on the Alumni Board of Directors for Northern Illinois University. I've kind of done a plethora and an eclectic mix of things.
Okay, so sounds like you got lots of balls in the air, and now you want to be a judge. And that number again is
161.
161. So, Howard, tell me one thing that voters should remember about you.
They need to know that I am level-headed and that I don't believe and many people rate, many bar associations that have rated me have mentioned this, is that Howard really is a level-headed person. And you know what you're going to get. I believe that you should call the balls and the strikes equally, and ultimately that is what a judge does, is sit there to listen to the evidence and call them as he sees them. But for so many people, they believe that the strike zone is moved for them when it comes time that they be judged. And it is important to know, and within my career as an alderman and talking to people and meeting people and having empathy for people, that the best thing that you could do is to treat people with dignity and respect and to call it fair, and they will respect you for that.
Howard Brookins Jr., judge, judicial candidate with a punch number of
161.
Could you give us your website, please?
Sure. My website is Brookins4judge.com. Brookins4judge.com. Punch 161.
Well, I'd just like to thank you, Attorney Brookins, for all of your hard work throughout the years, through with all of the organizations you've been a part of, and being a community servant. I look at your career and I see that you've been serving for a very long time. And the fact that you want to continue to serve, I salute you, my friend, and look forward to your win. So with that, I am Karen Yarbrough. I'm the Democratic committee person from Proviso Township. And our guest today has been Howard Brookins Jr., who is running for judge. And his punch number is
161.
Thank you. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.